because of all the laws and everything passed, and you're gonna start seeing when white rage happens.
Yeah.
Things change. That's just the nature of history. In France, when white people got mad, revolution. When white people got mad in America, American Revolution. Everything what white people is about violence or getting angry, and that's the only way to make things change. When you get white people angry,
That's the only way they know how to communicate.
that's the only way they know how to communicate and make things happen.
White rage.
White rage.
Yeah.
So until they get angry, and Trump really messes up their money and their dollars, that's the only time we're going to see change for everybody. Because then people are going to be like, you know what? I don't really give a fuck about no illegals for real.
Yeah.
How does that affect my check?
The illegals being gone is actually going to affect your check now.
You've been doing ICE, and you've been deporting people, and my check is still the same.
Yeah.
So that means you did all that hoopla talking about they're going to steal my jobs and not get money. I still don't got a job, and my check's still the same.
Still living on government assistance.
Exactly. So now the farmers are like, well, I don't got no people to work the land no more.
Just wanna see you on me. I just wanna see you on me. Put it on me, babe. Put it on me. Put it on me, babe. Put it on me. Never know your body. Okay.
Welcome to the Fupas And Flapjacks podcast here on the DeRosia Media Network. My name is Jay. That's
Your boy Trey was popping.
and every week we're joined by none other than the voice of God, the podcast Dr. Phil.
I have a Fupa!
How you doing, Phil?
Oh, man.
Good to be back.
Yeah.
So, to the fans, I know you guys have been DMing me, probably been hitting up Trey, hitting up the podcast
They
page.
ain't been hitting up me.
Oh, they hit me up.
They been hitting you up.
They've been hitting me up. The reason why we had a little short break is because Trey had a birthday that passed, and then I had a birthday that passed right after. If you guys didn't know, me and Trey are both Geminis. Our birthdays are a week apart, so but don't expect that, every year we're going to take 2 weeks off randomly in May and June. It just happened.
My birthday just fell on a Friday.
Exactly, and then my birthday ended up falling on a Friday this year as well, so it's just how things worked out. But
Well, happy birthday to the two of you, fine gentlemen.
appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Another year older, another year
Yeah.
wiser, you know what I'm saying?
We're halfway. Honestly,
older?
we're halfway through this thing.
Halfway, we're 28.
Who's older?
Trey is older by a year.
Yeah, I'm 33.
Okay.
A year? A week? No, a year.
I'm a year and some change. A year and a week.
Yeah. But it is what it is. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? We still here. We back.
Yeah, yeah.
We back on the
What
pod.
episode are we? 25?
This will be 25. Yes, it will be, sir.
Okay.
Like you said, halfway there. Well, a little bit more halfway there.
We're gonna be one episode halfway there.
Yeah, bro. We there, dog.
Yeah.
We getting there.
Crazy.
Phil, how you feeling, man?
Yeah. How you feel with this journey, Phil?
Bro, life is good, man.
The Fupa journey, man.
This Fupa journey is fantastic, brother.
Fantastic. I ain't heard that in a few weeks.
But anyways, y'all, as you guys know, every week we have a reoccurring theme or something that we talk about every episode. This episode is going to be us talking about the Black Diaspora,
Yeah.
right?
Is that a club on Orange Drive?
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's insane.
That's hilarious.
It's insane.
That's hilarious. The reason why this topic came about, me and Trey have had a couple of conversations over the past week or so about things that we've seen on social media, things that I've been in the middle of on Twitter myself. But we wanted to just get to the nook and crannies of a lot of topics. How to explain it? A lot of disagreements that's going on social media, whether it be Black Caribbeans, Black Americans, Africans, people from the UK,
Hispanics,
Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans, Hispanics in general.
Yeah.
As Trey is saying.
You could just say Latinos.
I could have just said Latinos and call it a day.
Haitians,
Yeah.
Trinidadians, everyone Latinos.
Could have just easily got that out the way just saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's the reason why we're talking about this. Just to let you guys know, I'm gonna give you guys a quick trigger warning for this episode, because I know a lot of people are gonna be triggered by some of these clips that we make for this episode, because they're not gonna get the whole story of this episode as well.
Boo-hoo.
He said boo. But Trey, I'm gonna let you start off so we can really get into this back and forth.
I just want to say this is the preparing for this episode. This is all opinions.
Yes.
Everyone's interpretation of race, everyone's interpretation of ethnicity, everyone interprets it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, everyone has opinions. I'm speaking facts. Let me say why I'm speaking facts.
Go
I'm
ahead,
talking
talk your
from a
shit.
historical standpoint level. Those are facts.
Right.
I'm not going to talk about how I feel, my emotions. I'm going to talk about the facts of what the black diaspora is. So no matter how much you disagree or agree, or you've had a friend who said, I'm this, I'm that,
Exactly. We're
or
talking
you said
straight
this
from
or
facts.
that, we're talking about facts.
Yes.
Yes, you've had experiences. Yes, maybe someone from Africa or from America or from the islands said something that might have triggered you and said, I'm no black, me no black, or I'm not black, I'm this,
Yeah.
or I'm Jamaican, or you're American, you're not black enough, or I'm African. They can say wherever they want. UK, you don't know your heritage as a black American person. Anyone can say any of that stuff you want to.
That's true.
We're going to
That's
talk
true.
about facts, because the facts is that's the only thing that you can go by. Your experiences, sorry, mean nothing. My experiences as a light-skinned black man, as many people have told me that I'm not black,
Often.
the facts of the matter is, I am. History tells me that. My genealogy tells me that.
Yep.
It is what it is. So I'm not here to go
But
off opinion.
the thing is too though, people. There's one thing I hate about people when it comes to you specifically.
Uh-huh.
And it's one of the reasons why I understand why you get annoyed when people call you white boy. I hate that shit for you, bro.
Okay.
I genuinely hate that shit because I'm like, if we really break it down and we look at Trey's genealogy, he's probably blacker than you, and you call him white boy.
Maybe. I mean, what's crazy is you've never met my father before, and my father is biracial and light, but you met him at my birthday celebration. You're like, that's a black
nigga.
nigga.
I said it. I was like, that's a nigga.
Yeah.
that is a nigga.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that when they see my dad until you meet my dad.
Yep.
You shake his hand, you have a conversation, you hear his voice, you see his mannerisms, how he talks, how he vibes. You don't really know that until you get with him. So, it does annoy me a little bit, but at this point, like I'm kind of like I'm getting over it. So
Yeah. But that's the reason why I fuck with your mom, your sister, and your brother's very heavy.
yeah,
Because second that word comes out, they're waiting to
fight somebody, yeah.
to shoot a nigga up
Yeah,
or fight somebody,
yeah.
beat somebody down.
Facts.
But for this topic, y'all, one of the things that we wanted to dispel in this topic is the I'm not black enough or that person's not black enough situation.
Right.
For example, you mentioned Latinos, Latinos. We're not gonna get into what's going on in the world right now. You guys already heard from other podcasts and other media sources what's going on in America right now. We're not gonna get into that. What we're gonna get into is the fact of
black relationships
black relationships
in the
exactly.
diaspora.
Especially when it comes to, like, for example, my family. My family's a prime example of it.
Okay.
We talked about on this podcast before where I have a family member who is very, not anti-black, but anti-black skin.
Dark skin.
Anti-dark skin, yes. Prefer way to say it. And the saddest part about it, if we break it down, we are the blackest of the black. No matter how much you try to make your nose smaller, change your forehead, change your hair texture, change your ear size, the size of your cheekbones, we are still black as ever.
Yeah.
And when you really break it down, like you and I have done our research leading up to this episode, there's not just Haitians or Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, black as ever.
Yeah.
Some Puerto Ricans are blacker than people from South Carolina.
Yeah. I've seen some numbers, some percentages where history fact.
History facts.
No matter how you look at history of any country in the Caribbean and America, anyone who was white, Spaniard, Portuguese, England, they wiped out the natives of that land.
Right.
Most people who are in Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, even in America, only have about 1% to 2% native in them because of the fact, or Taino, or however you want, Taino, or whatever the specific group of people in that island have a little bit of percentage because the majority of them were wiped out.
Christopher Columbus.
So yes, so most of them are going to have some African, some white, and a little bit of native.
Yep.
So I don't know if we have this stuff up and ready to go, but do we have clips ready for some TikToks ready for this?
No.
No.
Okay. We got our graphs and our charts.
We'll have to pull up the graph charts later.
That's later on.
But looking at some TikToks, like there were some TikTok trends going on of people showing their ethnic background.
Yep.
And majority of Black Americans and Puerto Ricans, Dominicans have the same breakdown.
Yeah.
same percentages of African, same percentages of white. It may be different a bit, but most of it is the same.
Especially the African.
Yes.
It'll be anywhere from like 50 to like 65% from Black Americans.
Well, I say 40 to 60.
40 to 60, yeah.
In between there.
From Black Americans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Haitians, like it's always within that range.
Right.
Always within that range.
Yes.
All four parties.
Yes. So what really is amazing to me is seeing how hard it is for people to navigate race and ethnicity. Because a lot of black people in America just think that they just call themselves black.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you are a mixture of things. If you want to call certain people, like a lot of people, because I'm light skinned, would be like, you're biracial, you're multiracial. No, you are too.
Yeah.
You just don't know your percentages, but based off history and facts, based off of the grape of African slaves, based off of the erasure of Native Americans in America, and the relations between Africans and Native Americans having children, and mixing with slave owners and other white people. Yes, there is a range, and also I think my DNA thing was around 50 to 60%, like African.
Yeah.
There are people with 56 African who are darker than me. You are just looking at the ancestry. Now you have to bring in genetics.
Yeah.
Because genetics is a whole different thing. There's dominant and there's recessive traits.
And genetics is a
whole different thing. So you can see biracial people who are half black and half white.
Yeah.
Where they have darker kids and lighter kids. So this whole conversation about light skin, dark skin, ancestry is so deep and so confusing that you can't just melt it down to just, well, I'm black because I'm an American and I'm black and you're not, or this, or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, it's deep.
But another thing about it too, I'm glad you're saying that it's deep, because a lot of people are just looking at it as like just skin deep.
Yeah.
And it's not that at all.
Right.
By any stretch of the imagination. Because, for example, like you referenced some of those TikToks that we saw. Some of those TikToks that we saw, some people who are my complexion, a darker complexion, had a lower African percentage than some people who are fairer skin tone.
Right.
Which is crazy. Yeah. When you look at it from that standpoint. But then when you understand history, you actually kind of understand the context of why some of that occurs.
Yes.
A lot of it occurs, actually.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about the slave trade, Africans were taken all over North America, in the Caribbean, and South America.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Brazil has one of the largest black populations in the world. There's a reason why Venezuela and Colombia have huge black populations, and there's even a there's even a salsa song dedicated to the black women in Colombian culture.
Rebellion.
Yeah. So it's deep. It's
one of the best salsa songs.
Yeah, it goes crazy.
One of the best songs ever made.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like this, right? In America, race is ingrained.
Yeah.
Whereas in other places, colorism is more ingrained.
It's not a race thing.
It's not a race. It's a colors thing.
Yeah.
In America, we are the only place where we go off of race. If you are in Canada, if you are in other countries, what are you? I'm Canadian. What are you? I'm Portuguese. What are you? I'm Norwegian. They go based on the country you're at. Even the black people in those countries will tell you, I'm that. I'm not Afro this, I'm Norwegian.
Yeah.
We don't have the luxury of going out being like, I'm an American. There's a reason why, and I started to understand why Dominicans say, I'm Dominican. I'm not black. It's because they're saying, I'm my culture, I'm my ethnicity, I'm my nationality.
Yeah.
They're not saying, I'm not my race. I'm Dominican. Just like I should be saying I'm American. But we have it so racially blocked off here that we have to say I'm black American.
Yeah.
We have to, because there's a difference in culture, there's a different ethnicity than because white people don't have culture here. No. Because they're so distant from their whiteness as far as their original heritage, which is some white people are Italian or whatever. Or I won't say Italian, because Italians still hold on to. If you're Italian and
they still hold on to.
They still hold on to.
But like Irish or from the UK or whatever the case may be.
Yes, or like if you're like from Norwegian, anywhere, they don't say that they're here. They don't say I'm Norwegian American.
No.
They just say
I'm American.
I'm American, or I'm white American, and they don't have culture.
Well, but also remember, a little off topic, a lot of white people's culture that they've made in America are
Stem from black people.
Stem from black people. Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly.
So, in actuality, we should say culture in America is black culture, but
Which it is.
Honestly, it should just be American. Our culture, when we say black culture, it really should just be American culture. Because we created the culture in America. But
every day we do.
yeah, every day we do
Every
something
single
different.
day.
The slang, the clothes, the music, from blues and rock and country, even country, all the way up to now.
But the sad part is, you get a lot of Black Americans, Caribbeans, like they start battling each other for these things now about what's what culture, what's that culture, where does it derive from, whatever the case may be. And then it's like, I don't know why y'all arguing when this other entity is trying to steal the culture from you right under your thumb.
Right.
Because y'all too busy bickering right here in front of it. Like because obviously your family is foundational Black Americans. My family is from islands.
Yeah.
Right? From the Caribbean. So if me and you were bickering about, what's Black American culture or what's Caribbean culture, and then there's a white guy just stealing both of it anyways, I think that's a thing that we need to stop just as a people.
Yeah.
As Black people in general.
Yeah.
Because like you said to start this episode, when you break it down, like we're literally the same people. The boat just dropped our great-great-grandparents off here or there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I think that it's not just people from the islands who have a hard time with that. It's Black Americans who have a hard time with that too, who get that.
Well, Black Americans, to be fair, how do I explain it? Black Americans have made a culture for themselves here in the States.
Right.
And they've made something so beautiful,
Right.
but also so welcoming of other Black people.
Right.
So, like, if you're from the UK, you come to America, Black Americans have no problem trying to ingrain you into the culture. You're from Trinidad, Brazil,
Nigeria,
whatever. Black Americans have no problem ingraining you in the culture because they know, like, listen, you're going through a struggle just like we're going through a struggle. Probably going through a similar struggle in your country that we're going through in this country. The issue comes now when we start to, I guess,
Because shit on Americans or whatever people.
Yeah, like one tries to shit on the other when we should be working together to just better the culture as a whole.
Yeah.
And better our race.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound crazy, but better the race as a whole.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, watching the videos, the TikToks that once again, thank you for giving me these TikToks. One thing I will say, watching some of these TikToks and looking at some of these comments and see how we as regular everyday people interact with each other in these comments, I don't think a lot of people have that education to understand that.
No, a lot of people are ignorant.
Yeah.
Black Americans are ignorant. And there's a lot of Black Americans who will, at the same time, will tell a Dominican or Puerto Rican or anyone, you're Black, but at the same time, when they try to be Black,
It's like, oh, you're not Black
oh,
enough.
you're not Black now.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Nigerian, whatever, saying, and I wouldn't say Puerto Ricans because Puerto Rican and Black Americans tend to have a very similar culture, have more ties because of New York and hip hop and breakdance and all that. But other people saying that we don't have a culture, or Africans specifically saying we don't have a culture. When we do have our own culture, we don't have our own thing. I will say Caribbeans are the closest. Caribbeans, Brazilians, South Americans have the closest relationship to Africa.
Yeah.
The drums, the food, everything else, we had to do everything completely different. So everything is separate as a Black American. But yeah, I think the problem is that we all don't give each other grace.
Yeah.
And we've let a white complex kind of separate us. And like, for instance, like a lot of Africans think that we're ghetto over here.
Yeah.
Because of propaganda and TV. The same thing in the islands.
Well, remember though on the islands, the reason why a lot of people from the islands, and it's more so the older generation, because like my brothers and sisters, my cousins, they don't think that way because we've been ingrained in American culture, specifically Black American culture.
Right.
The reason why we don't think maybe the same way our grandparents do about Black Americans is because, remember, on the islands, the main thing about the islands is Catholic, like Catholicism. So anything derived from that is ghetto to them.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you go to a Baptist church on a Sunday compared to a Catholic church, what people are wearing is not necessarily the same.
Yeah.
because Catholic churches they try to keep their colors basic colors, not too outlandish, but not too. They try not to show the personality with their clothes. However, a Baptist church or even a regular Christian church, they show the personality with their clothing. A lot of islands don't like that because it's what they think it's a little too much for a Catholic church. Things like that is what makes the islands look at Black Americans as quote unquote ghetto. And I've seen that a lot with Africans as well. They look at a lot of Black Americans as ghetto because of simple stuff like the churches, the music, the dancing, the vernacular that we may use on an everyday interactions. So
yeah, I've gotten it more from. What I've heard more from is the TV. They get a lot of TV of the only TV they see. Same thing in different countries. The only TV you see of Black people is as us as thugs and gangsters.
Hip hop music.
They don't see us. Well, it's not even pop music. It's really I mean, I guess music videos and stuff you could see it, but that's all they're fed. They're not fed anything else. They don't see a normal, traditional Black family in suburbia just living life.
And the sad part about that is that the main this is gonna sound crazy, but the main people who eat that up and make it popular are white people.
Yeah.
And that's the reason
why
why
entertainment.
Yeah, and that's the reason why it gets so popular to the point where now when they see us on across the sea or on an island, they're like, "Damn, that's what they're like over there."
Yeah.
Gonna come to find out, like, just because Kendrick and Drake got a beef, that's not the main popular music in America.
Yeah.
Because on the other end of the spectrum, you got like somebody like Mariah the Scientist who's dropped a beautiful song. Somebody like Leon Thomas who drops beautiful music.
Right.
But you're not seeing that because the main thing people are eating up, especially white kids, are certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Right. So you think, oh, that's all they care about over there is guns, calling each other pedophiles, and talking about beating on each other's women. Yeah. Or grabbing a dick and all this other shit. Right. That's not what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of moving.
Yeah, we can move past this.
Yeah, no, but staying on the same thing because we're talking about relations.
Yeah.
We're going to speak more about kind of the protests, but not about the protests.
Oh, yeah,
Black. And I don't like saying Black and brown relations. I guess I can say it for Mexicans, but because ICE is taking anyone who speak or look
a different language,
Spanish out.
Yeah.
So I'll just say Black and brown for the sake of it. But we just got done breaking down ethnicity and how most of our ethnicity percentages are
about the same.
Don't from the islands here.
It's mostly culture.
It's just culture.
It's just culture.
Culture and your nationality, where you're from. Because of that, and I was looking at a lot of things that Black Americans are saying in America right now is that the reason we're not supporting is because y'all voted for Trump. We voted for Kamala. We tried to tell y'all to vote for Kamala. Y'all voted for Trump. Now here's where it backs up. Then, Phil, do you have the form breaking down like a rate, like what race is and what ethnicity is?
Yep.
Because I think that's crucial and that's important.
Oh, for this context of this
conversation, because we have to break down race and ethnicity.
It's hard to read because it's tiny. I think this is it.
I mean, if you want, you could just put a full screen. We can
that
talk
one
in the
is Democrat, Republican.
No, what's this one?
No, that's pre-election polls.
That one?
No, that one's no.
There you go.
Nope, not that one.
And then it's the
last one.
Not that one.
Well, that's it. I just got 5.
Sure. I mean, we can use this.
Okay.
But that's not the one that's not the one that breaks down race and ethnicity. So race is Black, white, Asian, Native, and sometimes other. Other is multiracial.
Yeah.
Hispanic lies in ethnicity. Can you show the clip that you just had before with the votes of Puerto Rico, Cuba, and all that stuff on there that you just had up there?
This one?
That one.
That one. Okay. Yep.
Here's the issue here.
Sheesh, that shit is crazy.
No, here's the issue here. In America, we have Black, we have white, we have Asian, we have natives and other. Those countries have the same thing. They have Black, they have white, they have Asian and other and natives. Yeah. You have to look at the percentage the same way you would look at an American percentage. There are white Puerto Ricans that will vote that 34%. Yep. There are white Cubans who will vote 54%. There are people of color in those areas who are the 65%.
Yep.
We look at Hispanics as a whole.
As a whole.
Instead of breaking them down by race. Just like we have to do in our own.
Because Hispanics have to break each other down by race.
Right.
Literally.
And we don't do that. In America, we say Hispanics as a whole.
Yeah.
What does that do? We're not looking at our brothers and sisters who are voting for their rights, knowing that they have the same issues that they come here.
Because then when you break it down that way, you'll start looking at it like, okay, 65% of Puerto Ricans actually voted for Kamala? Okay.
Yeah.
Only 35% or whatever the case may be voted for Trump? Okay.
Yeah.
The only one that was a
Cuba.
majority was Cubans.
Right.
And we live in Florida. We know where them Cubans are at.
Right. Even Mexicans had a huge turnout for Kamala.
Exactly.
When you look at those numbers, you have to look at the numbers as a sense of a breakdown of race, just like we do. You gotta
Also,
look at those numbers.
this is not an excuse
No, it's
to
not.
like give them a pass, by the way.
No.
This is not an excuse to give them a pass.
No.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is that there are going to be ICE raids where they're going to deport people of color who are here trying to make a life for themselves, just like they're going to deport white, Asian, Hispanics.
Yeah.
I'm not giving the certain Hispanics a break for who did it.
No.
But
No.
when you do the research, you're seeing people of color.
And you're looking at it with
And you're
context.
looking at it from like the context of they are me literally in a breakdown.
Exactly.
And they are going through the same experience that I'm going through here and in those countries. That I can't separate myself from. As a Black American, I have to look at them as my brother or cousin, that you are in the same situation as me. And that's a tough point because you want to be, y'all Hispanics voted that way, so we just going to sit out. And I want to feel that way. But when you break it down like that, and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
I got brothers and sisters in there too.
And
they could have voted, and most likely they voted the way I voted.
But you know what the craziest part is? ICE detained like 2 black men in Philadelphia, right?
Exactly.
Thinking they were illegal. And come to find out, they were just regular Black Americans.
That's what I'm saying.
They were just regular Black Americans.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we are in the same position.
Yes.
Because of that. So I'm looking at it from a perspective of, like, and don't get twisted. Like, I don't think anyone deserves to be mistreated or treated wrong or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Am I still going to get up and, stand up and do this? No, I think Black Americans have gotten the right to sit back.
Sit back and just let shit play out at this point.
At this point. Because of the fact that if we go out and stand out there, we're putting ourselves at risk and in trouble. And we do that. We've done that enough, and we've always done it. And we can't keep losing brothers and sisters of America to that stuff.
Can I let you know some real ass shit? Go ahead. What's up, y'all? I'm Jay DeRozier. That's Trey Hale. Please subscribe to our Patreon page, the DeRozier Media Network, where you can find exclusive videos like behind the scenes, and even hit our top tier, where you can even send questions into the Fupas and Flapjacks podcast. And you can also get access to our newest show, Fupas and Flapjacks After Dark.
Yes, also go to our Jay DeRozier website where we'll have amazing content for you. Also merch. You can also get quick links to all those said Patreon, YouTube, Spotify, and everything else that you need.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Love.
Love.
It's Fooptastic.
Just about the protest specifically. I have family who are Haitian.
Yeah.
I got friends who are Trinis. I got friends who are Jamaican. When I tell you, they even told me, like, listen, I know Jamaicans, almost 80% of them voted for Kamala. Haitians, almost 90% of Haitians voted for Kamala.
Yeah.
So that even Haitians, Jamaicans, and Trinis are like, man, fuck that. We sitting down on this one too.
Yeah.
Like, we stood up for Black Lives Matter because we hated seeing Black Americans and people who look like us getting shot. And they're just like, you know what, bro, we sick of this too. At a certain point, something got to give.
Yeah.
But then I had a conversation with my dad actually recently about this. And he told me the realest shit. He said, I've never seen black people, when he said black people, he's talking about Black Americans, Dominicans, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, just black people in general, people who are black. Quote Dr. Martin Luther King so much, and then forget his most important quote. And injustice against one person, injustice against all. And he was so frustrated because he's like, it's the fact that now as black people we're turning our backs on everybody, but he's like, I can't get mad at black people for doing it. I can't get mad.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've stood on the front lines getting shit thrown at them, shit piss, like bottles of piss. Anybody who's known my dad knows that he's been here since basically the Civil Rights Movement.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on the front lines in New York City marching with black people when he barely could speak the language when he first came to this country.
Right.
And he's like, yo, I've seen this for 50, 60 years. I'm done. He's like, I don't got that much time left on this earth, but I just want black people to love each other. And if the only way we can love each other is to ignore this shit and just stay enclosed in our spaces, then we have to do that at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
And I get what he means by that.
Yeah, and I don't. To me, I don't want anything wrong to happen to people.
Right,
I don't agree
exactly.
with that.
Nobody wants that shit.
But at the same token, it comes to a place where we try. Mm-hmm. My thing is this: to all the Spanish-speaking Latinos, or even people who've been from different countries who are illegals,
Right.
call out the white people.
Mm-hmm.
Call out the Asians.
Mm-hmm.
Call out different people, because we've done this every single time. We have a history of doing this. Call out other races to stand up. I promise you, if you call out white people to stand up, whenever white people get up and protest and do stuff, cops don't do as much.
Yeah.
They let shit go.
Yeah.
White people need to be honest, if anything's going to happen in this country, white people need to be sick enough.
It's not
That's
even white people.
It is.
White women.
No, it's white people.
No, I'm going to explain why white women. One thing I've seen a lot lately when it comes to like the next generation that's coming up behind us, a lot of them are getting their rhetoric from their moms. Because if you look at statistics, there's just as much white single moms as any other race. Just being real. Some of these mothers have to actually put their foot down and be like, yo, this is not right, and this is what's fucking up. And just bring it to the kids. Because I've seen it too many times where I've seen teenagers spitting a rhetoric, and then you look at it, it's like, oh, it's the same rhetoric his dad's speaking. Or the same rhetoric that person's speaking. And then if you look at to be honest with you, if you look at the last election, if more white women would have voted for Kamala, she would have won by a landslide.
Yeah, but that was going to happen. White women voted 30% Trump, and white men voted 20-some%. They were in alignment, just like we were in alignment.
They were in alignment.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to take for them as a group of people to be sick and tired for things to change. If they're not sick and tired, it's not going to change.
I think I've seen the already beginnings of that. A lot of the farming industry is tanking bad the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, because
tanking bad
because of all the laws and everything passed, and you're going to start seeing when white rage happens.
Yeah,
things change. That's just the nature of history. In France, when white people got mad, revolution. When white people got mad in America, American Revolution. Everything with white people is about violence or getting angry, and that's the only way to make things change. When you get white people angry,
it's the only way they know how to communicate.
That's the only way they know how to communicate and make things happen.
White rage.
Yeah. So until they get angry, and Trump really messes up their money and their dollars, that's the only time we're going to see change for everybody. Because then people are going to be like, you know what? I don't really give a fuck about no illegals for real.
Yeah.
How does that affect my check?
The illegals being gone is actually going to affect your check now.
You've been doing ICE, and you've been deporting people, and my check is still the same.
Yeah.
So that means you did all that hoopla talking about they're going to steal my jobs and not get money. I still don't got a job, and my check's still the same.
Still living on government assistance.
Exactly. So now the farmers are like, well, I don't got no people to work the land no more.
Now I can't get you your eggs.
Now I can't get you your eggs.
Now I got less eggs and milk, and now it's more expensive.
Up in prices more.
Exactly. It's a domino effect.
Exactly.
It's a domino effect.
Exactly.
And the fact they're not seeing that the first two dominoes are falling, they're not going to realize it till it actually hits them in their wallet.
Exactly.
And by the time it hits them in their wallet, it's going to be too late.
Exactly. But going back to black people in general, black diaspora, and looking at the numbers, looking at things deeper, I am in a place of a little bit of, do I stand up and speak for specific Hispanic or Latinos or whatever, or do I stay quiet? Because after doing the research and seeing that there are, looking at the votes and everything, the percentages,
Cubans.
It's just like
I know, this
is like most of those people are. If they were born in America, they'd be black.
Yeah.
But they're where they're at, so they're Dominican, they're Puerto Rican, they're whatever, they're Colombian, they're Venezuelan, they're Brazilian, whatever they are, that's what they are, because they're born in that place and that's their nationality.
Can I be honest with you, brother? The only real white Hispanics that actually exist That's a different conversation at all. How it became mostly just white Hispanics in that country.
Argentina.
It's Argentina.
Yeah, but that's because they killed off all the black
They
people,
killed
put them
all
on the
the
front
black-
lines for the
exactly.
war.
They killed
I know
all
the
black
history.
people. Exactly.
Yeah.
My nigga.
Yeah, I know the history. And this is the Argentina Uruguay War.
Yes.
And that's why all the black people in South America fled up to Colombia and
And
Venezuela
Brazil.
up north.
Yep.
Same thing with the Civil War in America, where all the black people fled the south and went up north.
Yes.
Same history.
Same exact thing.
And that's why Colombia, Venezuela, Panama.
You're forgetting something too.
What's that? What am I forgetting?
After World War II, a lot of the Germans fled
to
Argentina.
That too. Yes.
There's a lot of descendants of
I'm not
Nazis
saying that,
in
but
Argentina.
just
Yeah.
Germans.
Germans. Yeah. You want to say? Yeah. You want to put that?
I said what I said. And I stand on that.
I just don't want to say that on the pod.
Fuck y'all.
Okay.
Th-
Well-
those people specifically with the 4 point.
I just don't want the flag.
the
You know,
4 point
just don't want
star.
to be
You know
flagged.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Just don't want to be flagged.
But those people specifically,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
not Argentinians as a whole, or Germans as a whole.
Yeah, but yeah, the fled of black people, Africans from the south of South America and the south of North America, fleeing up north.
Yeah.
To Colombia, Venezuela, Central America. This Panama is very black because of Jamaicans and the fleds and the fleeing of that.
Yes.
Canada has African heritage because of fleeing the south up north. There's a lot of similar circular events that South America, the Caribbeans, and North America have gone through that were a lot more similar than what we separate ourselves to be.
Yeah.
And that puts me in a different place looking at the deportations, ICE, and all of that.
So what do you think, as people, we can do to? I'm slouching again. Sorry. What do you think, as people, we can do to make it, to at least have the communication a little bit easier and better? Because like you said, like earlier, like a lot of people are just ignorant.
People gotta be educated, bro. They gotta be educated. They gotta look up information.
I think people are afraid to be educated because people are afraid to be wrong in their thought process.
Right, but that's a different thing. I don't think we can fix a whole entire group of people. Like,
No.
people are going to be educated or not going to be educated, and you can only tell some people are open to that. Some people who don't know will react differently and be like, "Oh, damn, I didn't see all that. Like, that makes sense." And there's some people going to be stuck in their ways, and you just have to lead them in their ways. But education is the only way that you can fix this, and that's why Black history that doesn't get told in schools and how is a problem.
It is.
We only learn about white history for real, and the only black history we get is slavery and Jim Crow and Martin Luther King. And after that,
They barely talk about Malcolm X in schools now.
yeah. So it's a wrap after that point. So Malcolm X in school, when I was in school, he just had a little tiny little corner with his face, and Malcolm X was a part of
I
it.
remember my textbook had like a little corner of Malcolm X, a little corner for Sojourner Truth.
And Black Panther Party, little thing,
Panther
yeah.
Party. And then the only thing about the Black Panther Party they talked about was just like how they came about, how they introduced free school lunch, and that was it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that's all I got, man.
I do want to say this. Just to how do I get my shit off? All right. When it comes to this conversation about black people, I'm only willing to have this conversation with other black people. Because a lot of ignorance has been stemming from other races when it comes to talking about us as a people. And I'm talking about black people who acknowledge that they're black. Trey, you know exactly what I mean by that.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Black people who acknowledge that they're black and enjoy...
Or acknowledge that they have African ancestry.
Thank you. That's the other...
Right, because we have to be very on point when we talk about blackness.
Yes.
Because black in America is not black race, it's black culture,
Yes.
black ethnicity.
And I'm not having these black culture conversations with people who ain't got no upper lip. Just letting you know right now. I'm not arguing with people who ain't got no upper lip about this. I'm letting you know right now. I don't argue with people who ain't got no upper lip. It's going on the t-shirt, by the way. Just letting you know.
Got it.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, we have to look at everyone. That's why they say Afro-Latinos. And that's why I've started to get more into saying, like, Afro-American or stuff like that, because all of us have African heritage. Not all of us are fully black raced. We all are multicultural. All of us are. No matter how you try to slice and dice, we all are multiracial people. We try to, in America, we like to say we're blackly black. But I'm sorry, you got some whitey white in you, about 20%.
You got some
It's in there.
in you.
You got some Caucasian in you.
Yes.
And you got some Native in you. Same thing for everyone else in the islands.
Yeah.
So we have to stop looking at each other separately and start saying things for what they are. You have African heritage. I have African heritage. They have African heritage. Whatever percentage it is, it is. You got some white. They got some white. Whatever it is, that is. That's where we have to look at it. I know that we've been fed black love, BET,
Black excellence.
Black excellence, and great. I'm all with it.
Yeah.
But we still have to call things for what they are, so that we can have some type of chemistry and symmetry in our relations with the diaspora. Because that's the only way we're going to unite and get together, being educated and doing that.
When it comes to before we ride out, when it comes to being educated, I have a question for you that I was thinking about all day, bro.
Okay.
When it comes to being educated, how do you think people should effectively use their education to like pass it on to others? Because some people get that education and they'll only spit out bullet points rather than being like, hey, if you read this, it'll actually tell you about this, that, and the third. Like, how do you feel like we should pass on that education on to others? Especially considering they're taking all our books away and everything like that.
I think that you should pass education to people who want to receive education. And not waste your time on people who are giving pushback who don't want it. That's how I feel about it. I think it's that simple. I think some people are meant to be left ignorant. And that's even biblical with Jesus. There's people who Jesus was doing all these things and all these miracles, and they still didn't believe. That's just how it is.
That's
There's
true.
been people who
That's true. I'm not
Harriet
arguing that.
Tubman. There are people who believed and left and fled, and there's others that get left behind. There are always going to be black people who are going to be educated, who are going to move a certain way, and there's always going to be black people that get left behind. There's always going to be, I'm not going to say the word on here, but there's always going to be them. There's always going to be some black people that know how to unite. That's just the name of the game. You can't save everybody. You can't take everybody with you.
You got at least some. You can't take everybody in the water with you.
No.
As Harriet Tubman so showed us.
Yes. Yes. Some people will live with a slave mindset or live with a victim mindset, and that's just how it is.
Phil, you got anything for us before we ride out? Before we get these would you rather's going to end the episode?
So you guys took DNA test?
I did.
Oh, I just took one, and it turns out I'm 100% that bitch. But no, this was a great conversation.
I can't stand black people.
I'm sorry. I love. This was a great conversation.
That nigga said 100% that bitch. Shut up, Phil.
This is Lizzo, man.
I know it was Lizzo is just Liz now. She lost the Z and the O.
No, the O stands for Ozempic.
That's insane.
But no, that was a great conversation.
We're gonna edit that out. We're just gonna have a.
I agree with everything.
It's gonna be
I
blacked
agree
out.
with everything that Trey said. Honestly,
I mean, you can't really disagree with Trey on this episode.
no,
I'll be honest,
'cause
you
there was
cannot
no
disagree with
opinion
Trey.
piece. It was all just facts.
Yeah.
I mean, I people called me white too because my father is biracial.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, yeah. My dad was half.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So they called me white boy because I wasn't hood enough.
That's a whole separate conversation. For
Yeah,
another
that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus
We can get
Christ.
into that too.
But
Yeah.
there are. I did notice though when I moved to Florida though that a lot of Hispanics say me no black, me no black.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I get it.
Yep. And actually, there's let me bring this percentage up.
No, go ahead.
I meant to send this to you. I think I did send it to you. But
I got some black would you rather's, like some black ass would you rather's. Y'all ready in the studio for this?
so listen to this.
Hold on, I want Trey to get this off first.
So I didn't think I screenshotted it. Screenshotted.
Screenshot.
But
yeah.
there is a percentage of if you had asked Hispanics, I think back in 2004, if they were white, I think it was 55 or 60% of Hispanics or Latinos said they're white. In 2024 now, only 20% of Latinos say that they're white. There's a change in the young people that are starting to accept their ancestry and move forward.
Yep.
So there is a change in the community of accepting their African roots, their Taino or native roots, and even the Spaniard Portuguese roots. So it's starting to tick that, yeah, I'm Hispanic, true. Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican, whatever, true. But I am also have African ancestry, and I also have this and that, and they're not shying away from that part of. And that's one thing good I think Bad Bunny did great with his album was
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny incorporate all the African sounds and incorporate African heritage into his project. So that's all I have.
The album is still fucking fire to this day,
Yeah.
bro. The album is still fire.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready for the Would You Rather?
Y'all ready for this?
You got the music, Phil?
Oh shit! It's been a while. I think I
Also,
deleted it.
also, while we're recording, the
you go.
Game 4 is going on.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, Hallie just hit a 3.
Pacers gonna win this thing.
Pacers gonna lose tonight?
They won't win the whole thing.
At this point, I have no faith in the Thunder anymore, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, y'all, for the Would You Rather Black Edition.
That's crazy.
Would you rather be a black superhero in the Marvel Universe or the DC Universe?
DC, give me Green Lantern anytime.
What about you, Phil?
Do I have to have electricity powers? Because I mean, most of them are.
Nah, I agree with Trey. DC, Green Lantern. Jon Stewart is one of the best superheroes I've ever seen in my life.
Or you could be Cyber.
Does Martian Manhunter count? Because
He does change into a black guy,
I mean, John Jones is his name.
which is still crazy to me.
Yeah, him. You even got Cyborg.
I would be into DC. I would be DC.
Hey, now that I think about it, I got beef with DC about John Jones. Because they spelled that shit black as hell.
John Jones.
Like Jon
Jones.
apostrophe ZZ.
Jones is.
That's a black ass way to spell Jones,
It's
bro.
Martian.
I just feel like they do I feel like they just do black superheroes and like
They do more justice.
You do more justice.
Usually in Marvel, the black superheroes are usually sidekicks.
Black Panther's the only like solid
Like
standalone by himself. I'm solid.
Because Storm is a part of a team.
Yes.
War Machine is a sidekick.
Yes.
Miles Morales technically is a standalone because he's in a different universe.
But he's in a different universe. He's not in the main.
Yeah, he's not in the main Marvel
And
universe.
then the shorty Ironheart.
Yeah, she's a derivative of freaking Iron Man.
Yeah, there's not really. They ain't really have their own story for
Yeah,
themselves.
besides T'Challa.
Yeah.
Would you rather star in a Broadway musical about Black history or an Oscar award-winning film about Black culture?
Give me the
Film.
Oscar.
The film?
Yeah.
Everyone's pick. You picking a musical? Okay. We got one musical, 3 films.
I'm tired of the slave and all the other depressing ass.
It just said a black Oscar award-winning film about Black culture.
Right, that's cool. I'm
Oh, you're
tired
talking about the
of,
Black history with the play.
yeah, I'm
I got
tired
you,
of seeing
I got you.
niggas in slave chains. I'm tired of that press stuff. Give us being the winners. That's why I like that TV show. What's that TV show? What's the dude that got canceled almost?
Who?
With Megan, he's married to Megan Good.
Oh, Jonathan Majors.
What's that show he was on?
Lovecraft Country.
Yes,
Yes.
freaking love that show.
Yes, give me
Jesus.
something like if we gonna go back in the day where give me somewhere we the winners.
He died though.
But the woman finished the dude off.
Yeah.
She finished the lady off.
Yeah,
So at the end of the day, his offspring
still got
yes,
the dub.
rises.
Would you rather have your family history traced all the way back to the African tribe or discover a Black historical figure in your family tree?
Give me the tribe.
Tribe. I'm with you on that one.
Tribe.
I don't care about no celebrity.
Can I be honest why I say tribe though? When I was in 3rd grade, our teacher showed us Roots. And I remember we had to like bring a permission slip home to sign up because Roots has nudity in it and a bunch of like, some of the beaten scenes were like really intense as a freaking 8-year-old to see that shit.
Your
bro.
name's Toby.
Yeah, that shit was kind of intense to watch that shit, bro. And then getting his foot chopped off and shit. But I would want to trace my history all the way back to the African tribe that we came from.
Yeah.
Like that shit would mean a lot to me.
I might be from the Yoruba tribe, to be honest with you.
Huh?
I might be from the Yoruba or Igbo tribe, Nigerian.
Oh, Alafia.
Okay, this one's a little funny. Would you rather be a guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race or be a mentor on The Voice?
Mentor on The Voice.
Give me the Drag Race. Me on a RuPaul TV show, that's must-see TV. I'm cracking jokes. I'm roasting.
Okay.
I'm roasting.
Okay.
I still want to take you to a drag queen show, like a drag queen brunch. I would love to take you to that.
Nothing against any, that culture, but that's not something.
That's not something.
That's not something.
I know
wouldn't
something
be,
you're not
I wouldn't be
interested in.
entertained, to be honest with you.
Got you. Also, for those who about to see this and make a comment, Trey is not homophobic by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I just
We
don't.
had this conversation a couple episodes ago.
I'm just not entertained.
Exactly.
I'm not entertained by a lot, actually.
All right, this one kind of is a twofer for us because we're going to be both Would you rather be a famous black YouTuber or a black TikTok creator? You're already a famous black TikTok creator. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
I saw Trey's TikTok. I had no clue you had that many followers.
Trey's famous, dog.
I was like, is it, I do, because I don't think I followed you, and then I started seeing your shit. I'm like, wait a second, I know this guy.
I know that nigga. That nigga look familiar.
He went to the profile and seen the.
I'm like, oh wait, I'm like, I know him.
That's hilarious.
This next one, I think, is pretty easy because of the way the world is going right now. Well, entertainment is going. But would you rather have your own black record label or your own black film production company?
Film production,
Thank you.
more money.
Yeah,
I
film
agree.
production. That's where the money's.
I
at.
think the music industry is failing, so I would go film production.
I don't think it's failing, but I just think that yeah, it's different. I think what artists are doing now is they're focused more on social media, and their music is more like a side piece to the social media.
Like they're getting the social media stars.
There's never really been money in music, to be honest with you,
No.
unless you're big time. There's never been money in music for.
Okay, this one's a good one for Trey. Would you rather be a guest star on Insecure or a guest star on Atlanta?
Insecure.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you would have picked Atlanta.
No, Insecure. Insecure has such a diehard fan base
True.
that they'll rewatch it over and over again. Yeah, Atlanta doesn't have the same fan base that Insecure does.
No.
Atlanta kind of, the Insecure fan base, they always are begging for another season. You don't hear that a lot for Atlanta.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Would you rather have your own black-owned winery or your own black-owned liquor? As in like a cognac or something? I'm going with the winery. I think there's enough black faces on liquor bottles right now. Or liquor companies.
I'm
right
going
now.
with the winery.
You with me on this one?
Yeah, you beat me to the answer.
Oh,
I collect wine.
I know you do.
So why would you not think I would say anything else other than
I
wine?
don't know. You might want your own Douce bottle or
I
something.
don't
you know
want
what
that. I
I'm
don't want no liquor.
saying?
I want
your own Grey Goose bottle.
wine. I made me good sweet wine.
Instead of Don Julio, Don Hale.
I would make me a very
Don Hale's fire.
Yeah, I'd make me a nice sweet red wine that competes with Barefoot.
In that price point.
And that
For the
price point
girlies?
for the girlies.
I wouldn't want to make a Moscato for the girlies. A nice Moscato.
Yeah.
Eat with like a nice little, because
Yeah.
the girls when they first start learning to cook when they living on their own, it's shrimp Alfredo or chicken Alfredo. That with a nice Moscato on the side, whoo, I make your hand over fist.
Yeah, I want to do that. A sweet red wine, and then maybe a sangria.
That's a good one.
I think that would go off.
What about you, Phil?
Wine.
Would you want to make like a sweet red or something?
Same thing that Trey said. Honestly, it'd be
Light
nice.
skinned niggas sticking together.
I know,
It just makes sense.
No, it does. I'm not even trying to.
but I'd make mine really expensive.
Nah, I would make mine a affordable price point for my people.
Nope. I want white people to buy it.
Just like, I would make mine an affordable price point. Like the affordable price points of merch that we have on the jderosia.com website. Transition was fire. Give me that.
That was clean.
Give me that.
That was clean.
Transition was fire, by the way. Before we sign off, Phil, you got anything we want to say before we sign off?
Well, I have a fupa.
No energy. No energy.
Well, he usually starts off the show with "I have a fupa," so
True.
it makes sense to.
What about you?
No, man, I've yapped enough.
I honestly think this was a great episode, bro. It was a great episode back. A nice little small vacation for 2 weeks. Fans have been missing us, and we back, bro. We back.
We bike.
We back. Only thing I want to say to you guys is to everybody out there, our thoughts and prayers are with you guys. We do wish you guys the best. We can't say enough that we told you so, but we do wish you guys the best. And hopefully, a change can happen very soon to make things better for everybody, honestly. And we truly mean that. On behalf of myself, on behalf of Trey, on behalf of Phil, everybody else here at the DeRosa Media Network, here on the Fupas and Flapjacks podcast, we love you guys. Be safe. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
When I give my all, give your body chills. When I give the world and give your body feels. Baby, I'ma push you first, put a ring on it. Your name next to mine, it's got a ring to it. Your body on mine, it's got a thing to it. I want this forever, I had to sing to it. I just wanna see you on me. I just wanna see you on me. Put it on me, baby, put it on me. Put it on me, baby, put it on me. I I just wanna see you on me. I just wanna see you on me. Put it on me, baby. Put it on me. Put it on me, baby.